Former U.S. Davis Cup team captain and former pro Patrick McEnroe believes that we have been living in the golden era of men's tennis. He says Switzerland's Roger Federer, Spain's Rafael Nadal and Serbia's Novak Djokovic are three of the greatest players of all time.
Federer, to me, is still the best I've ever seen. Djokovic certainly is on his way to maybe being in that conversation where he's right there with Federer if he can continue to do what he's done over the next 2-3 years. Obviously Nadal, maybe the greatest competitor we've ever seen, and sort of willed himself to become more than just a clay court player. And imagine if you're Andy Murray. I mean, you're a great player. You've been in multiple Grand Slam finals, only to lose to Djokovic, in Australia 1,500 times. He's won 2 majors, he won the Olympics, and he's sort of the next guy.
Federer, Nadal and Djokovic have been so dominant that at least one of them has been in all but one Grand Slam final since the 2005 French Open. The only American to reach a Grand Slam title match in that period was Andy Roddick, losing to Federer at Wimbledon in 2009.
Most countries would have to say the same thing. If you're from Sweden, for example, from France, Australia, countries that have a great history in tennis, it's pretty much been, for the most part, 3 players. Obviously, Murray's won a couple. Wawrinka's now won 2. Del Potro won the U.S. Open before he got injured. We hope he can come back and be a factor again. But you've just got these players that are so good, and the surfaces have become more similar over the years. So that means that the best players are really the best players on every surface.
And that certainly was the case in 2015, when world number 1 Djokovic came 1 match short of winning a calendar Grand Slam, all 4 majors in 1 year. He lost in the final in Paris to Switzerland's Stanislas Wawrinka, and Roland Garros is still the only Grand Slam the Serbian star has not won.
If he plays his absolute best, it would be hard to pick against him. But I think the gap between him and the field is not as great as it is at the other Grand Slams.
McEnroe thinks that the biggest threat for the Big 3, or Big 4 if you count Murray, is going to come from players who are now 18, 19 or 20. As far as others in the top 10, he does not see them as multiple Grand Slam winners.
They might sneak in like Cilic did, like Del Potro did, and win 1, but I think probably it'll come from either a Kyrgios, a Borna Coric, Zverev from Germany, maybe one of the American guys, Taylor Fritz, Tiafoe. I think we've got a good group of young American guys as well. So I think that's probably where the next great couple of players, maybe 1, maybe 2 players, will come from and start to dominate the majors.
However, McEnroe concludes that is still probably 2 to 3 years away. Braca, Djordjevic, VOA News, College Park, Maryland.